Come on, come on. Ah, hello. Sorry, I probably look like a picture of misery right now. This time it's one of the arteries. It's on the roof of this old factory building. Problem is, that place scares the hell out of me. Hmm, I have got myself into a bit of a predicament. Yes, I do need some help. You're right. I would just need you to go up to the roof of this building and run a standard check on the artery up there. Wonderful. You'll need this for starters.
The machine has a real heft to it. It means serious business.
Just plug this device into the artery once the diagnostics program prompts you. It should do the rest. Just pay attention to the report it gives you. I'll be right here if you need anything.
The fire door stands between you and the rest of your journey. Luckily, it's still wedged open with the and climb the spotlit stairs once again. The artery before you connects to every device connected to the Renotel wireless network. The text cursor highlights the blank space where your command should ask it. Renotel Diagnostics is intended for official personnel only. Input external device to continue. Device input accepted. Welcome. Examining system. This may take a few minutes. Seconds turn into minutes as you watch the dots blinking on the monitor. It's not clear if the machine is doing anything at all. After what seems like a small eternity, the machine beeps and coughs up a brief report. System, 98.2%. One critical error. A device has a configuration problem that prevents it from working properly. The issue will persist, and in turn, you should be able to talk to the prisoner from outside. Goodbye. The Renotel technician is waiting right where you...
Ah, you're back. You can go in and out as you please now. I disable the locking mechanism so this ball can be retired now. Do you want it? Glad it's gone to a good home. How did you get on with the artery? Well, thank you for trying, but it doesn't matter. I've decided to quit my job. I've thought about it and I've decided that I'll try to get back into electrical engineering. I don't care if it kills me. I can't live like this any longer. Suffering.
The ex-technician shows no sign of hearing you. He doesn't even look back.
The fire door is closed, but no longer blocks entry. You raise your hand to wave at the engineer on his pylon.
The door sits inconspicuously inside its frame.
The fire door is closed, but no longer blocked.
You open the door and climb the spotlit stairs once again. You open the Renotel distribution panel once more.
3 possible inputs. Cold and 1. Network. 2. Network should get you the list. Then it's just a matter of finding it.
The matrix of lines and pixels representing the city ripples out in front of you once more. The artery before the text cursor highlights the...
Ask it.
The matrix of lines and pixels representing the city ripples out in front of you once more. The artery before you, the text cursor.
Ask it. 3 possible inputs. Cold and toneless. Flicker up on the screen. 1. Network. Network should get you the list.
Renotel diagnostic. Examining system. This may take a few minutes. Seconds turn into... After what seems like a system, 98.2%. 1 critical error. A device has... The issue will persist, and in turn, you should be able to talk to the prisoner from outside.
Goodbye.
Wolf time.
The children ignore you.
Welcome back, my good replay.
Can the one true format really be reconstructed? Isn't it singularity that...
What? Please stop. I'm well attuned to people mocking me.
The vendor stares blankly at you.
It's my life. What can I say?
A single-use existence, erasing himself cell by cell.
You're witnessing dedication to an ideal. Without that, what do we have?
As this manically depressed reactionary tried communism.
Crusade, yes, that's a better word. And friend, I fight clean, wielding advanced, compulsive rhetoric. I don't resort to gutter tactics like these spineless mass media companies. Picture a dog that shits, then eats it, then shits again. That should give you some idea. People are what they consume. I'll say no more.
It's less an opinion, more a criminal sentence.
Oh, there's no sense in hating baser life forms. They know not what they do. I'm a man of peace.
The vendor sighs and seems to deflate ever so slightly before you.
I haven't met a customer in a very long time who even knows what an Einzelton XR is, let alone appreciates the format. Tells you all you need to know about the current state of the home media world. Culture. Autoferon. This new Lucian mania is all...
Obsession with foreign imports. Sufferers of so-called Lusian mania will consult the wall.
That would be preferable to the truth of things. There is no politics to it that they can see. They just want something they can idiotize themselves with. You'd think we had run out of brick walls. I take it this means Luz hasn't managed to make it into wherever you're from. Good for you. Provincial, but honest. Silk, sad national poetry. Music, the same kinds they play in the soak.
Incapable of competing with Lusian media on the most basic neurological level.
You could at the very least consume the propaganda they produce for adults, you know. That's why I'll be here, enjoying the front row seat to the downfall of culture. That is my punishment. Taste. Well, it isn't. Anything we once had has been consumed, overwritten, digested, and shat out by Luz. And the worst thing is, we just don't care. The culture blockade was designed to prevent this. But now anyone with the wits to create anything new just spends their time devising ways to get past the signal blockers and access Lucian drivel. Whole thing's a myth anyway. Failed project? Yes. It's not like talking about it will make any difference.
Nothing is ever truly gone. Everything leaves a residue. Everything with a charge can be summoned back.
I'm afraid not. The format is near obsolete. Einzeltone is the past, yet it contains the future. How exquisite.
The vendor recoils, as if you just spat at his feet.
So, your question is, Petre, how do I reanimate a corpse? I would class it as necrophilia, actually. I'll be honest, the thought is so disturbing to me that I've never entertained it before. But theoretically...
Breach warning. You are now hacking the firewall of techno-philosophy.
You would have to repolarize, re-remanence processing, probably a concentrated magnetic flip, neodymium grader. It would involve some custom gear, no doubt, but my answer to your distressing question is yes. I think you could. Why don't you film it and make a snuff disc out of it? One for the techno-voyeurs. Don't ask me about this again. I feel unclean. No, I ruled that option out a long time ago. But no judgment if you decide to go through. Then with all the more reason, no. Though, I can't say the thought hasn't crossed my mind. Replays, customs officials, L-pop fans, those imbeciles that carry around stereos on their shoulders. Sure, sure.
Welcome back. Quite the commotion down there. Please, have a seat. You've come back. I'm a structural engineer. Human existence.
Behind the abstractions,
I've never lived anywhere else.
he glances down.
There's entropy in all systems.
The smuggler inclines his head in silent recognition. The Decreto de Recaptura Civica, a set of regulations from 81. Drinking age raised to 16, limits on public assembly, and stringent gun laws. All tied to stabilization packages arranged by EMTA. The promised loans were later deferred. Portaferans are still paying for guns they no longer own. He lowers his head in brief silence.
Marcia!
Until next time,
Please, if you see Carolina, do let me know. Yes, I was running a dream study. She was a participant. That was a long time ago. Dreams are one of the least understood phenomena in nature. My colleague Gonzalo and I developed a novel technique for rendering our subjects' dreams as two-dimensional imagery. We received a generous grant through MTES Foundation for basic research, though I have to say it was an uneasy match. Yes, my colleague. I believe I recommended him to you once. I came to understand our benefactors saw our work as a form of market research, not exactly what I got into the work for. It was a long time ago. I prefer not to dwell on these things. Equipment, mainly, designed and fabricated to our own specifications. Neuroimaging tools, REM inducers, separate monitors for blood flow, electrical activity, eye movement. It's only when taken together that coherent, dynamic pictures can form.
An astounding custom rig. One you must get your hands on.
It was far from perfect, mind you. Some of the imagery came out skewed. Whether that's the fault of the imaging or the underlying dream matter, we couldn't say. But these were early days. The potential applications.
Therapeutic. Metaphysical. Practical.
Don't misunderstand. The point of our work was to help people, not control them. Carolina started out as one of our participants, a volunteer, surprisingly. Simple, because until Gonzalo and I received our grant, she's never evinced the slightest interest in my work. I'm afraid the raw data were carefully anonymized. We couldn't match any individual participant to a particular set of subconscious imagery. I'm a trained physician. Patient confidentiality is sacrosanct.
A conversation. Logged mirror. 2 gin cocktails. A regular table.
To be a spy like you, in theater, getting totally absorbed in a task greater than myself.
And then she wasn't. And she did.
When her turn as a participant concluded, she begged me to stay on. I thought, well, what harm? There was no real limit on our grant from amateur. And Gonzalo agreed. We needed an assistant of sorts. She was responsible for organizing and cleaning the visualizations. A massive undertaking. Very labor-intensive.
Approval. Pride. Immediately apparent in the copies she passed you. Annotated pertinent sections marked with color-coded flags.
Carolina didn't appear at work one day. I went to the police, who had no information. I thought she must have been in some kind of accident. You must understand my fear as a father. I received a call from the hospital. Carolina was there, in intensive care, barely lucid, handcuffed to her bed. There were 2 carabineros. They told me she was under arrest, to be charged with unlawfully aiding a foreign power, espionage statutes. I'm sorry, I can't speak to that. There are many details of that time that, I was in shock, borderline delirious.
For his work, he means.
EMTA pulled their support. The study was shut down within days. All our data seized. I was investigated too, of course, along with Gonzalo. The official part dragged on for several years before they finally closed it. She was held. But when she came home, I said some things, perhaps things I shouldn't have.
You gain nothing by making this poor man repeat the words he's most regretted saying in his life.
Thank you. You understand. Of course. She left after that. Then I opened this clinic and moved down here to keep.
And here he stayed.
I understand. Karina didn't act alone. She was part of some kind of organized network. It's very odd that tricks the mind plays. There are times I nearly convinced myself it was my fault. Yes, something like that. In any case, that's all in the past. No changing it now. And is she eating well? Does it look like she's getting enough sleep? Tell me, what's the matter? Both of us still unable to let the past go. Wait, if you see Karina again, please tell her. She's always my daughter. Thank you.
He gives you a slight nod, indicating that you may leave.
I suppose that's...
He gestures to the small ladder leading up to the second level.
Until next time.
You return to the forbidden ladder. The doctor shuffles slightly as you ascend. You made it. The thing in the bed stares with vacant intensity. Slowly, details emerge. A molded jawline, curved torso, and multi-jointed limbs. A medical dummy, left out on the bed, propped up against the pillows. His expression, frozen in time, helpless, but not distressed. The dummy seems posed with some kind of intention. The dummy is surrounded by the delicate shrapnel of a previous life. Space exploration memorabilia, cotton jackets on hooks, old radios. It has been placed carefully. Some amount of love has gone into it. It means something, perhaps a lot, to whoever put it here. They would be sad to see it go. The dummy continues to hold its pose. Printed words, property of Dr. Gonza, and scribbled right under, to myself, for when I'm not myself. The dummy just looks past you, its plastic lips frozen mid-thought. It stares back at you, unmoving. Made of glass,
Pale blue, wet looking. Money has been sunk into this, and time, and a certain kind of obsession. A silicon oval, unframed. Shadows reveal the protrusions of nose, eyelids, mouth. Before you lies something that resembles a human face. But whose? You can almost hear her speaking. But the moment slips away. The lips of the dummy remain still. Minutes pass. The houseboat gently sways. Specks of dust gather on the objects around you. Your joint. You pull focus. The dummy continues to stare vacantly at the same spot. The empty bed is sadder than when it was occupied, somehow. A child's set of toy figurines sits on the shelf. Stiff forms painted and posed, carefully arranged to watch down on whoever sleeps in the bed. The paint is chipped and worn. These figurines have been well loved, played with often. He can sit at his desk and pretend there's someone upstairs. It coats the tip of your finger, thick and soft and grey beige. A miniature rocket and a group of cosmonauts. Words painted on the side of the launch vessel. Proyecto Autonomia. Portafero's failed space program. These toys are yet another remnant. Project Autonomia was Sweet Nestor's idea fixa, meant to establish Portaferro as a sparefaring nation. The mission was first announced in 75, and its inaugural launch was set for 77. The rocket never reached orbit. It disintegrated minutes after the launch. The disaster was broadcast in real time all across the developed world. The disaster led to Sweet Nestor being exiled in 80, the third and final time. He left in his wake decades of stabilization loans yet to be repaid. A national tragedy for Portaferro. An excellent quarter for Emter. There's no date that you can see. Look at the cosmonauts' expressions. Pride, determination, joy. These aren't commemorative, they predate the disaster. At 7 or 8, the memory would have impressed itself deep within the frontal cortex. Hers and those of millions of other children watching across the developed world. Orange-suited plastic men, cherubic faces squeezed into little helmets. 2 sit inside the rocket. 1 is planting the Portaferan flag on a pretend lunar surface. One of the figurines appears to be missing from the set. Maybe Carolina took it with her when she moved out. A little souvenir, keeping her closer to home. Even the smallest movement of your body sends dust motes floating through the room's air. Even the smallest movement of your body sends dust Carolina's childhood tableau, understand.
Hello, again. Oh, I suppose I haven't had that time. Yes. It was all technically empty property. The machinery, the data, they took it all. We were only left with one unit, barely functional. Not even with the cost to move, they said. And then...
You have a strong suspicion you know who.
I imagine they stripped it for components. A machine that could appear behind the veil of consciousness. A machine of magnificent subtle. And someone stole it for scrap. To buy drugs. Or whatever else. Right, self-pity. Rarely appealing. All right. Until next time.
So that's it. He's gone. Asset virtue. Confirmed. Zeroed out. And he just happened to come across it.
only two possibilities. His own brothers, failing the Brotherhood, or the Azuris. Figure it was the Azuris.
His employer. What's he heard?
News of a dead carabinero usually comes with jokes and shit talk. Maybe drinks. But sure as the Cape boys were quiet, so were the Azuris. He'd been on the shit list for a while, I'm sure. Maybe he pissed off one of the Pecans. Doesn't matter. The uniform's reason enough. And Vespar didn't look too good the last time we met. Like he knew something ugly was coming.
The young man stares at you for a long time.
As much as Vespar's outfit bothered me, you stand by everything your employer does, Habibti? There's this old Rastamian saying my grandmother liked. Some truths arrive already carrying a shovel.
A strange, terrible clarity blooms. But he didn't go for it. He'd gone to ground, hiding, or maybe just counting out the days.
Why are you asking me? You went in there, didn't you? I know I wouldn't have gone in there myself. That's all. I was asked to keep an eye on it not long ago. You know, just in case.
The Azuri smelled something was off about it then.
Baby girl, there are many questions I haven't asked you. Being a thoughtful, caring man. Just stay away from there. That's all I'll say. I'll be seeing you.
The smuggler inclines his head in silent recognition. He lowers his head in The sounds of plates clattering call to mind the first time you met SD. She's waiting for you in the corner of a restaurant, occupying the ruined shell of the former Silk Workers' cafeteria. Blue coat, black shoes, just as you'd been told. She pokes a plastic fork into a salad, deep in thought. A hangover massages your skull. The sound of a blender makes your eye
Cascade. I'm aware. That's why we're meeting. This is a new restaurant. Juices, healthy options. Part of a citywide effort to clean up the place. I do not work. I'm a civil servant with the Porphyrian government, ostensibly an Emter liaison. You didn't read the dossier. Let's see.
You excused yourself without ordering anything.
What? Yeah.
You return to the console. The screen flashes with complaint. The screen flashes with complaint. The screen flashes with complaint. You back away. You return to Carolina's bootlegging equipment. You turn away from Carolina. You tap her headset. She lifts it.
Hey, Hirsch.
She does not respond.
Yes, I know. Oh, good. Yeah, great. Yeah.
She rubs her forearms, shakes her head.
I know, but I haven't done anything yet. This isn't for... This is my job. I'm good at it. I have to do...
She thinks that bootlegging is an act of resistance. She still wants to be an operant. So appeal to her as a colleague. Take her seriously. Tell her your own professional problems. Ask for her help.
Zeroed. Like, dead? Oh. Hirsch. It's just like...
Something in her breaks. You see it snap. She bares her teeth. Tears flow.
Oh, Hirsch. Oh.
Poor thing. You can save her from this. Bring her back. Yes, refurbish the tool so it may be used again.
Other headset's over there. You just have to put it on. No. I broke the recording equipment in there. On purpose. I didn't want to think about them just in there. Near me. Has to be live. I'll make the machine put me to sleep for a few minutes. You wear the headset. You see what I dream.
You fix the headset over your head. A foam interior settles itself around your skull. Applies metal plates to either side of your forehead. Connecting your mind's eye to hers. You hear birdsong, footsteps, a man's voice. You see a cosmonaut suit, posed and fused to a base. The missing figurine from her room. The images collapse, fall on top of each other. Carolina's voice screaming, as if it were coming from your own mouth. Then nothing. An incomplete record.
Fuck. 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 No.
She's shaking, tears streaming down her face. As she blocked the rest out. Not good enough.
I know. Yeah, I had it with me when they picked me up. It was? Oh, I messed up.
Unclear. Insufficient search terms. Oh, fucking hell, what did we tell her?
The advanced cognitive maneuver, where you displace yourself into an object to withstand interrogation, remember? You taught it to me. I think it kept me alive, but all my memories are in the figurine.
The opera has no record of any operant successfully performing this maneuver.
No, you taught it to me.
Probably easier to play into the delusion and find the figurine than try to change her mind.
Forget that. Just flex your way into the console and override her controls while she's plugged in. Because she built it. She's a fucking circuit queen. Now get over to that console and get flexing.
Dad stuff? I don't think so. Or you could, but it would be even worse.
A psychic invasion. Do it.
Please, Hirsch. If we have to do this, I need the figurine. Not really. I don't know. I used to think it might help, but then I built the machine. I don't know. I'll be here.
You return to the console. You back away from the console. You turn away from...
What?
Fucking hell. You're not seriously thinking of tracking that thing down. Getting tortured for your shit once wasn't enough. Now you want to wash too? A little fucked up movie night? You're twisted. I didn't look for that figurine thing, and you shouldn't either. Risky as fuck. You don't know that. She's more clever than you by a mile. Bet she's a better spy, too. Maybe you're just jealous no one's ever wanted to torture you. Why, they tickle your feet with a feather? Knock you around a bit? Kid shit.
Weeks, he said. The weeping eye had Carolina for weeks. They took everything from her. Flesh, family, the safety of her own mind.
Yeah.
This has to be Reno's pied-à-terre. He's one of the only people in Portofino who could afford this kind of luxury.
Private residence. Please state your business. You sure don't look like one of them. The business has concluded for now. I mean, I have no idea about any business Mr. Reno might have.
Both of those things can't be true.
No, I simply misspoke. Too bad for you, as I decide what the facts are here.
In front of whose call box you stand. That's what the senior negotiator said himself. That's what the prisoner said. Wearing his pink tie. A sordid affair.
I haven't been informed about any inspections. The delicacy isn't lost on me, but my instructions were clear. All right, come on up.
The cover of the book is the first thing that catches your eye. Hand-painted, blood-adorned. The text reads, Blood-type Hecatomb by H.S. Lastra. The title jars a memory, Holocene engrossed within its pages. Maybe the only time he was oblivious to the world.
Science fiction as a genre is utterly misunderstood by the majority, Cascade. It often contains the only ideas worth ideating.
You've never read it, but you feel like you've basically read it. With a furtive glance over your shoulder, you slip the book into your pocket.
First things first. I know what you're thinking. And this isn't my cat.
Once again, you appear to have crossed paths with this strange man.
I sensed that it was only a matter of time before we came face to face again. But I wasn't sure you'd find your way up here.
You may have gotten the better of him in the bazaar, but he's a step ahead here. Keep your guard up. This lapdog of the techno-fascists has been following your scent with impunity.
Working, of course. No, I can't tell you the specifics. I'd love to, actually. But we're on opposite teams now, in a way. You know, I recognized you at Photo 24. A serendipitous coincidence, truly. I knew you'd been shelved these last few years. But of course, a man of my stature must have a keen eye for the talent. You passed my test on the call box, Herschel. I'd almost forgotten you get excited when you're nervous.
The sound of your name on his tongue. Unnatural. Upsetting. Turn this situation around. Immediately.
Of course, Herschel. Why else would I seek you out if not to exchange knowledge, skills, and expertise? To live, to laugh, perchance to love? Don't get hung up on that last part, Herschel. It was just a flash of inspiration. Our friendship goes way back, and I wouldn't want anything to soil it, you know.
Way back. Where? His face drops.
That's a very cruel joke, Herschel. 5 years gone, and that's how you greet your friends.
5 years? No entries in archives, systems, or communications.
This pretense of ignorance is really hurtful. Really, I expected you'd treat your old colleague, Ignatz, a little better than this.
To you, he has never happened. You've certainly never been colleagues. Wait, Ignatz. A name from Taxman's ledger.
I don't believe this. Ignatz, Tempo's right-hand guy.
Is it possible you had some kind of episode? Did someone accidentally bin the relevant files?
If this is payback for me giving you a hard time earlier, Herschel, it's pettier of you than I expected. The emotional dagger is dull, but you still manage to make me bleed.
A wall of words embellishes the hurt, but it's genuine. Upon further review, maybe he's the one having the episode.
You and I, we're on the same level. We've always understood each other. And so my desires are nothing covetous. I'm simply offering you the excellent opportunity to work together again.
Highly suspicious. Warrants further investigation. Approach cautiously. There may yet be gold hidden in that repulsive coat.
She's beautiful, isn't she? You're bred, probably. They have papers when they're this beautiful. There's no reason to assume this is Mr. Reno's cat. The cat is its own animal, free from the burden of society and property rights. Absolutely. With a cat like this, you know things are going okay. You can sleep at night without watching the news. I don't know yet, but whatever it is, I know it will be okay, because this cat will be there. Just an animal? Marshall, this cat is magnificent. You're lucky this cat doesn't speak or understand human. Otherwise, it would be very displeased. People like you and me, we're not supposed to meet a cat like this. We can't really handle it, in a way. Listen, it's a big thing, petting a civilization-affirming. But then, if you need to do it, of course, who am I to stop you from petting a cat? Probably for the best, Herschel, honestly. You're thinking very short-term, Herschel. I'm disappointed. In my new position, I've developed a number of very highly placed sources.
Big, if true.
I must say that they are pure and full of heart, much like this cat. Your old friend, secret treaties will be discussed in a matter of days, in this very apartment. Your old asset Ignatz is here, preparing the field, so to speak. Nice try. You know I can't tell you that. Don't worry, it is not the bank. The man's got to know who he is and who he isn't. Otherwise, who is he? Thank you. I read a lot of philosophy. That's probably what gives me my edge on the market. In any event, it's a very unusual arrangement. I'm basically de facto lead on this assignment. Currently, I'm overseeing the sanitation technicians. It may seem pedestrian, but in reality, the responsibility could only be handled by someone at the level of de facto lead. It's very straightforward. I'd like you to take some wildlife photography. I would like to see some leaky animals in their natural habitat, doing what such animals do. Please, Herschel. You and me are both people of the world. You with your colorful job history. One of the men providing physical security for these upcoming talks is a filthy carabinero rat. He's leaking information to his controller. I need a photo of this leaking in action. The Carabineros act as empty security detail for the upcoming talks. And just like their masters, are notorious for their unreliability and corruption. I suspect the Carabinero rat is readying itself to jeopardize the discussions. If you accept the job, I'll tell you all about them. Seriously? Does the opera expect you to subsist on charity? Things must be even worse under post-historical materialism than they say. Fortunately for you, I will be supplying the camera on this assignment. This is a one-time opportunity. I need you committed before this place is cleaned up. I'd hate for you to miss out on a chance for us to collaborate again. I have ascertained the filthy Carabinero, and I have also ascertained his controller. All you need to do is get them on film together. If you prove yourself a capable sub-lead, I'm sure we could come to some mutually beneficial and totally unofficial agreement. Everyone comes out ahead, except the leaky animals. I get rid of a problem, and you'll receive some information that will make your life and the opera's much more interesting. Very good, Herschel. The animal you're looking for always wears half his uniform, even of ours. You'll know him by his corrupt, sleazy demeanor, his dead eyes, and dark, floppy hair. Truly, an unappealing individual. In a proper society, he'd be euthanized or at least kept indoors. A local woman, about your age, with a mole on her cheek. It took all my skills and training to ascertain their true identity. They meet every day on the bridge that's east of the bazaar roundabout. A great place for some filthy fucking animals to do their leaky business, apparently. You'll need to use this camera. It's a very special piece of technology, but the film inside of it is even more special. Make sure you use it.
How about a self-portrait or a still shot of a beautiful landscape?
My new employers have different ideas about privacy and conscience than you or I. But I can't judge. Another man's house, another man's rules. They're trying to build a post-historical final society, with a final man as its subject. So naturally they can't have old-style thoughts going around. That's how I understand it, at least.
A psychographic camera.
Herschel, really. Poverty of imagination is a very concerning quality in a thoughts, Herschel. It takes pictures of thoughts.
A machine to picture the inner workings of the soul. A miracle of light, glass, and chemicals to preserve that which has so rarely been known.
Please, Herschel. The poor woman does not exist. It's a mere fabrication by the lonely, deprived mind of a small business owner. No, no. A de facto counterintelligence lead cannot risk being seen in the same place twice. Our enemies are very attuned to patterns, and so forth. Once you've got the photos developed, meet me on the rooftops of the housing campaign. Any night. Just one quality photograph of the Carabinero leaking in the wild will do. Make sure you get the woman too, his controller. And try not to call attention to yourself. These are highly dangerous individuals. I'm sure I don't need to explain. That's a weird question, Herschel. What do you mean by that? I have no idea what you're talking about, Herschel. Tempo? Our old crewmate. What about him? What do you mean, dead? I've no idea what you're talking about, but I do know people usually receive what they deserve. Like me, with this job.
Despite the verbal evasions, his manner is genuine.
He doesn't know anything about Tempo's demise.
Besides, I figure he's just disappeared again. Probably on vacation. Herschel, I thought you would be coming here for your old friend Ignatz. I am disappointed, but also empathetic. This makes one live longer. Mr. Reno, I believe, is in the kitchen, waiting for this operation to conclude. Normally, Herschel, I would have to keep all of this under wraps. But since you and I go way back, and Mr. Reno will host talks between La Luz and Emter here on matters of world historical import. May have to rewrite the textbook. You're much better than I expected. But I also expected you to be very good, Herschel. It's great to be on the same page, isn't it?
Around you, cleaners continue their work diligently. Monks in thermoplastic robes, carrying blunt machines.
Something very like that. I understand he gets the right to certain highly coveted flight paths. Men like... I trust this will stay between us, Herschel, seeing as... Very good.
You have never... Muffled noises emanate. Dear God, let's try to... The figure shakes, not its head, but sort of the whole top half of its body, and turns back.
Oh, hello. You're not with the cleaners, I take it. Please forgive the state of the...
The man stares around the room in bewildered horror, unable to focus on you. A guest at his own vivisection.
Cleaning, apparently. I've never seen such disarray. You wouldn't think the process of cleaning an apartment would take so much uncleaning. Have you seen my model train? I suspect one of the cleaners may have misplaced it.
Stop all the clocks. A purloined model kit. This investigation is priority alpha.
Do for you. Of course. He's the cleaning coordinator. I've been assured the Lusians are handling his bill. She's magnificent, isn't she? She's got 3 coats. Yes, that's me.
He doesn't like being called the phone guy.
I really don't want to get into it now.
Oscar is alive. Thank heavens. But no, I have nothing to say on this now. Just look at this mess. We do. Which? There are no tricks to it. It's largely compound interest and time. You know how superblock communists build their economics on 3 pillars. Huh. That's quite a concept. I believe canonically the 3 pillars are supply, demand, as we in the developed world don't have the luxury of relying on magic. We replaced it with compound interest.
A different type of magic.
Look it up. It'll change your life. No magic required. Well, it's not very politic to say, but most people suffer from poor impulse control.
No different to the beasts that wander the wilds.
To tell you the truth, my own impulse control, or lack thereof, has been a lifelong curse. My business endeavors have succeeded because I've spent years fighting my own wiring. Do not fall prey to market logic, but instead bypass it, often by esoteric means. There's no magic. This is a matter of neuroeconomics. The market ebbs and flows, as you know. That, in turn, locks us into investment cycles that I personally have grown rather weary of. So, to challenge my higher education bias, I've hired a special consultant. One who specializes in esoteric knowledge, inaccessible to ordinary men of business. He's a medium of sorts, highly attuned to transmigratory souls. These interstitial beings are a rich source.
The history of communications is the history of people trying to contact the spirit plane. Clay tablets, film cameras, wireless telephone. The means change. The desire remains.
Yes, the cycle of life and death is more certain than any particular investment. A Rustamian who literally washed up on the shore one. Mysterious fellow. Prefers to keep to himself.
Mysterious Rustamian. Radian. A long shot, but worth following up on. Could be anyone.
I just pay him, listen in, and leave when sensed. Now, was there anything else?
He looks at his watch, his forehead accordions.
I don't,
Discrepancy found.
None. Where have you come by that idea? If you know Oscar, then you practically know everything. Let's be clear that any dealings are strictly speculative. That said, I'm in the process of acquiring and rehabilitating a certain piece of disused infrastructure.
A seeming non sequitur.
It's a hole in the ground, really. An old rocket silo left over from the days of Project Autonomia on the Beetle Tract. Emter has signaled interest in resuming lunar missions from Portofino. Naturally, if those missions are successful, one could expect certain returns.
One meaning Reno, of course. Singular.
You have no idea how much money a program like this will reinvest in Portofino, do you? If you did, you'd never question my motivation. I'm afraid I don't know anything about the negotiations themselves. I'm just a friend of Oscar, as they say. The Minister of Mass Culture? Yes. I gathered that he will be representing La Luz at the negotiations. That's certainly out of the question. I understand Minister Reyes is intensely private. Never.
The man sighs deeply and closes his eyes.
Well, there was also his deputy, the junior to Oscar Sr. Though I have to say, the young man seemed quite stressed. That's it, Frederick. Strange young man. I think this is his first big assignment. He's the one to speak to him. Now, please, let's never discuss this matter again. Where to even start? It's an extremely rare that I'd really like to find it. That's right. Varna's head of design is an old friend, really. I'd really like it back.
He throws a searching look at the empty shelf, as if expecting his precious chrysanthemum sorrow to have materialized at the evocation of its name.
Oh, thank you. It must be around here somewhere.
Be well.
Doors crowd you, stacked upon each other. Behind one of them, your former asset Estoc, draped in a see-through cloak. SD knew it. Competent, unlikable, ultimately invaluable. Talk, yes, then spy. One of these apartments belongs to Estoc. You just have to discover which. There appears to be a residence list on the wall. You could start there. You must be subtle in your approach. Your asset is still living her cover. That will make her unpredictable and desperate. SD keeps a special mental calendar marked critical phone call from Herschel. The calendar has been counting for 5 years. The blue painted door of the houseboat creaks with complaint in the wind. A small push on the paint-chipped wood confirms that the door is firmly locked.
Busy. Come back later.
Unmistakably the voice from the Miracle Line, Duchess. You hear her mumble something, then it goes quiet.
I know you. We've spoken, haven't we, baby? I've been thinking about you, longing for you. I hoped you would come to find me. Don't talk about yourself like that, darling. Come close to your Duchess. Let's just get this door open.
A serrated blade flies out through her letterbox, jabbing you mercilessly in the abdomen.
You think you're clever finding me here? You think you're the first? Leave me alone. It's my job, you pathetic imbecile. I don't want anything to do with any of you. I don't exist for your entertainment. I am a person.
The knife thrusts out of the door in time with every furious syllable. You hear her mumble something.
What? Was this one of the old pilots? He told you? Did he? Damn. And to think I stabbed you. I'm so sorry, hon. Just come.
The woman's eyes are sad but warm, twinkled against the sunlight filtering in through the gaps in the wall.
Sam was my father's name. That old creep just keeps finding new ways to make me feel watched.
Posture relaxed, looking away. She's confident that you aren't in on Pigeon's scheme.
You didn't. I can see exactly what motivates people. And with him, it's just plain old power. Boring, really. No, hon. I don't want to accept anything from him. Maybe you can find some use for it. For the trouble. I'm sorry the old creep made a fool of you, but let's not let it ruin our day. I feel like that would be letting him win. You're welcome, hon. It's nice to speak to someone in person for once. I'll have to grab the phone if it rings, but otherwise, I'm free to chat. Thank you, sweetheart. It does have its perks. I've lived here for 10 years now, but it still makes every day feel like it. But it does get very cold in winter. Oh, and a family of moorhens have made a nest right by the window there. It's cute, but... Now listen to me complain. Sorry, love. First time I've had grown-up company in a while. Guess I'm letting my mouth run away from me. I'm listening. Oh, ancient history. Had a toddler and a baby. Needed to be home full-time, but still make some money. Saw an ad. Went for the interview.
She shrugs sadly.
They like a foreign girl with a smooth accent. That's been life ever since. I've heard that too. I prefer not to think about it, hon. It's my income. If I start worrying about the company tanking or changing their minds about paying, then I just don't know what else I'd do. Oh, you were being serious. I'm sorry, hon. It's not about you. People expect my voice. It just has kind of become the miracle. If you need work, I know that Tonio in the alleyway is always looking for people to help him sweep up. Not really, love. It's automatic. There'll be some man waffling on about mermaids or pop stars. I'm just here picking the polish off my fingernails. Well, my favorites are always the ones that... I used to have an old client who called me because I could mimic the voice of his late wife. Not even any sex stuff, just chatting about his day. It was beautiful. Each to their own, but I suppose I don't worry about paranecrophilia when I have real necrophiliacs calling me up too. Luckily, making dead noises is quite easy.
She sticks her tongue out, crosses her arms.
Stuff like that. Oh, hush. It barely went in at all. You should know better than to show up like that at my house after using the line. I thought you were some kind of stalker. I don't know what to tell you, hon. 2 kids, boat, miracle line. Oh, I'm doing a correspondence degree in psychology.
She looks around as if seeking information about herself from the room.
Long gone, sweetie. No forwarding address. It was harder with him here, honestly. All we did was argue toward the end, which is way worse for the kids than not having a dad around. It was the miracle line that scared him off. Made him jealous. Couldn't handle it. Called me all sorts of names in front of the kids. Yeah, best not to waste any time thinking about it, really. I've had a few dates here and there. All a disaster. I really can't get away from the phone much, and it saps all my energy for romance.
She puts up finger quotes around the word.
I'm a dedicated spinster. Always dreamed of operating my own dial-in talk therapy line.
She laughs, shakes her head.
It's slow going. The moment I sit down to study, phone rings. Sometimes I try to give people therapy instead of sex, but
the market is a mad god, a being of low impulses and high power. It cannot be allowed to steer us.
Wouldn't be a miracle if I did. Happy to chat, love. Not really. He just likes me to know that he's watching and to feel in control. He won't escalate unless he thinks I'm trying to escape. I realize how strange and frightening that sounds when I come to tell somebody else. But in my line of work, you just get used to it. Of course not, hon. I've no idea. Wasn't my choice. When I interviewed for the job, Duchess was already named. They were just looking for a woman to play the part. But I like to think that I give her a personal touch, helping people, being a friend to the lonely. She's doing a job, indulging fantasies that I would never in real life. But ultimately, it's me. You're sweet. Playing at a friend's house. You know, kids, always an adventure to be had. Drop by again.
The building notice board stands beside a communal area, full of above your head, seagulls wheel and dart. Fairly standard fare for a notice board. A notice for a cat lost months ago, next to a printed out sign advertising. One notice, however, stands out solely because the original printed sheet has been altered by multiple scrawls in a variety of colours and hands. The piece of handwritten paper declares, "The rules are very clear. Read them and understand them. No gathering after 10 p.m. We can hear you clomping about and we've had enough.
Beneath that, the responses read, "She thinks she the cops. Fuck you. You don't run the building. We know this is you, Mrs. Kavanagh." Fun-hating, inappropriately authoritative, low. That's Esty.
She must have married. Either that or changed her name. You know that she is known in this building as Mrs. Kavanagh. That is something.
You turn back to the roof. A large framed board with the title Residence printed across.
Sounds promising.
The title and initial entries are printed in thick, embossed ink. But over time, names have been crossed out or added with rough pencil. You read the list, including the crossed out entries.
There is no nuance. The list appears haphazard and poorly maintained, which no doubt suits Estoc perfectly. Third row, Kavanagh, is one of the penciled names, written in a clear hand. Apartment 4. That's it. You have her. Now it's just a matter of working up the guts to knock on her door.
You come away from the wall.
No soliciting. And mind the floors, will you? Good. Thank you. Not really. I mean, you could help me sweep if you wanted to, but no, of course not. But I like to think if I can keep this place clean, I can keep my head above water. Look around. You think one person alone can clean all this? We used to have one manager and 3 concierge. Now, it's just me. I'll pay you 20 sol if you're interested. You asked. I think the more we all dedicate ourselves to our own tasks, just the punctual tasks, the better it'll be for everyone. Really? Thanks. I could really use the... Are you sure you know how? This has to be done right, you know. This is a classic... Here. Thanks. It's looking much better. Here. Take the first door to the right up the stairs, then keep going up to the top. No flyers, mind. Pick up your feet when you walk.
Photographs, candles, tucked under the stairs. You'd be forgiven for initially overlooking the modest shrine, were it not for the roughly carved wooden figurine, waist-high, sat off to one side. This is a shrine to Sirius, angel of romance, war, and negotiation. If it weren't for the candles, you easily could have mistaken it for a shadowy heap of discarded belongings, awaiting the weekly rubbish collection. Tonio's been maintaining it, but few of the middle-class residents of the housing campaign want to be seen openly making offerings or tending the shrine. Such things scream working. Among the usual photographs and candles, people have left mysterious items. A single house slipper, a dusty magnum of champagne, and scattered throughout, wedding invitations, faded, creased, RSVP dates, years. It's customary to invite the angel to festivities, to bless the union. You are cordially invited to celebrate the joining of Mr. and Mrs. Pascal Kavanagh on Ignatz 3rd, 92. Of all your assets, she may have been the most singularly grounded. Maybe it was her husband's idea. Or maybe you don't know your old asset as well as you think. You take out the little off-white rectangle, red-inked lips glinting in the low light. With a soft flutter, the card drops onto the shrine and into the dark pile of offerings. Overhead, a bird hits a window, but instead of dropping to the ground, it shakes itself, relaunches into the sky, and flies away. An officer on the pious order knocks twice on a door of an apartment in Mercia's ever-dwindling arts district. The person inside does not answer, too busy throwing everything they own onto the fire in the hearth. The smell of burning paper and plastic. They stop for a moment to stare at the object in their hands, a pomegranate red folder. At that moment, the door breaks down. The shadows shift and grow long, candles flickering, the air thickens, each prayer counts. The red slips of paper hung overhead undulate gently as you step. A postbox with drawers numbered 1 to 12. The whole apparatus locked at the side. You step away from the mail. A plain canvas satchel hangs from a coat hook. A pair of colourful rain boots sit on the ground below it. They kept a pair of feet dry as they stood in ankle-high water in the basement of a magazine office. She must be staying here.
You scour the smaller pockets inside, but find only pens, paper clips, sticky notes, and an ancient pacifier. Gummy rubber tip gone brittle. You give it an experimental suck. The nipple is uncomfortably hard against the back of your front teeth at first, but it softens as your saliva coats the... This is a normal pacifier, for normal infants. It's never been in contact with drugs. The satchel was virtually empty since you took the book out. There's nothing to exact retribution upon. You turn back to the alley. You have arrived at Este's doorstep. The last time you spoke was the day your network blew. You never called her back like you said you would. Cascade. I just need an hour. I'll call you back. S-Doc. Herschel, I'm serious. Cascade. Me too. Get off my dick. I'll call you. She is quite old. You could probably convince her that she abandoned you. Should probably start apologizing right now. Lilies for funerals, roses for love. What for abandonment and betrayal? You avert your gaze from the door to the shoe rack. Their shoes, 2 pairs. A little sweeping brush. Nothing left to do but apply knuckle. Soft steps approach the door, then stop. The loud click of the bolt echoes through a cavity in your molar. Just explain how sorry you are. Find some common ground. Might even thank you for her recent career success.
Hello, for Este.
The old man beams at you, adjusting a dial attached to a gadget. Looks like a hearing aid or a cochlear implant. He watches your lips, then smiles and nods twice.
Please call me Pascal. Nice to meet you. You are? Come in, come in. Esti's in the kitchen.
He steps back and waves you in with a loose hand.
Lives, oh mortal lives, expire.